Hello guys, today we are going to make a simple DIY tote bag made with military camo pants. It's gonna be really simple to make, so let's get started. The first thing, of course, is to measure out the tote bag. So these are the measurements that we are using. Next, we are cutting the parts we just drew and taking pockets out so that we restitch them on the outer side of the fabric later on. As the parts we just cut are not big enough, we are gonna slash the remaining pants and join with the first pieces. We always want detail in the right position, right? So what you're gonna do is drawing a baseline on the horizontal line of the pocket, then draw a vertical line in 90-degree angle. This is going to be a side seam and joint with the first pieces. For the next step, we are putting 1 cm seam allowance and cutting the excess fabric. For this time, we overlocked the seams, then did the top stitching. But we can also finish with a flat felt seam, long felt seam, overlocking, etc. Of course, it doesn't have to be perfectly done because we are putting a lining inside. Anyway, let's make it too. There we go. Now is the perfect time to add the pockets. Just putting them where we want to stitch down, then sewing. So we have a front and back, put the right sides together, then stitch the open seams. After that, we are making side gussets that will basically help our bag have a messing of a back shape. Alright, now we are going through the same process to make lining. But for lining, we are cutting it 1 cm bigger because usually lining is a little bigger than outer fabric. So these are the measurements we are using. Now we got 2 lining pieces. However, there is one thing we need to consider before attaching. We are sewing up to these 2 lines that I'm pointing out and leaving a little space because we will be turning the bag over through the space later. Once you've done the process, it's optional to have some variations. This time, I'm adding a separated pocket from the previous work on the right side of the lining. So if you want to have some recycle neglected items like zips, lining from your clothing, etc. Lastly, let's use a waistband as a back strap. We need one more of it, so let's make it. We are using and cutting the extra fabric. As the fabrics are not long enough, we're gonna chop them off and connect them. This is what it looks like when they're stitched together. After stitching 3 sides of the seams, press nicely and fold the last remaining seam, then top stitch all the way around. Now we are going to stitch it 3 layers together, lining, outer fabric, and straps. First, let's put the right sides together and match the side seams. Then we are positioning the straps 12 centimeters away from the side seams. So put them in between, then sew them at one click. Finally, turn the whole bag over through the space.
Our destiny has called. We're walking down a path, and the wind will change at last, like a song about our past.
And stitch this edge of the back
And dream about
and the space.
how they're running around.
Yeah, this is the final outcome. That's all I have for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
And we'll be free. I can't see the point of pointing fingers. Come on, let's rejoice of what will come. I have made the choice of